Okay, can you still hear me?
Yes.
All right, well, thank you. First I want to thank you for assisting me with this assignment. And so I'm gonna ask you some questions, and if I ask you a question that you are uncomfortable with, feel free to tell me you're uncomfortable and with answering that question, okay? Can you hear me? I can't hear your response.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I'm responding.
All
Yes.
right. All right. So the um so for the sake of the assignment, I'm not gonna ask you your name. We're just gonna move on, okay?
Okay.
All right. So have you ever been a victim of a crime?
Yes, I have.
Okay. With you can be very brief or very detailed as possible. Can you tell me when and where did it take place?
It was about 7 years ago. My home was burglarized.
Okay. So you was a victim of a burglary, um, your home was burglarized.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Were you home when this happened?
I was not. No one was home when it happened.
Okay. So therefore there was no one who was physically harmed, right?
No.
Do you know if there was ever an arrest made?
I don't think there was ever arrest made. If so, it was not brought to my attention that happened.
Were the police ever so the police was contacted as a result of um this particular crime being committed?
Yes, they came out, they took fingerprints and pictures, and that was the last I've heard from the police on that situation.
So they never contacted you afterwards?
No.
So tell me, how did that make you feel that your house was burglarized, you called the police, they came, they did initial report, and no one ever contacted you afterwards, correct?
Right. I felt it made me feel very uncomfortable. It made me feel that the people, the person that committed the crime, could have come back and followed up and did something else like that. I felt that every time, I felt that I was always being watched. I didn't know. I couldn't sleep for a while because I felt they were going to come in there. I was wondering, did they just come when nobody was home, or would they come while we were home too? So I felt very unsafe in my home.
Okay. So um if you ever had an opportunity to meet the person or persons who were involved in this burglary, would you first let me ask you, have you reached a level where you have forgiven these people or this person?
Well, it took me a long time, because I had a young daughter living in the house that was of school age, coming and going with her keys. She was in high school, and I didn't want her to be home alone, and I wanted to be there every time she came, and that made life complicated with school and work and things of those nature. So it took a long time for us to gather those pieces. Uh, felt uncomfortable, and I felt like I couldn't protect my family and my home. But after a while of feeling uncomfortable and not being able to sleep and watching over our backs for a long time and trying to get a sense of normal, after a while I had to forgive them, and I had to wrap my mind around the fact that it wasn't personal. I had to hope that it was random and that they did what they did and it wasn't going to happen again. So I had to stop and forgive the person, or I wouldn't have never been able to stay in the house in peace again.
Do you think it would have made a difference if you would the process be the same if you have met the person physically?
Yes, I think it would have made it a lot more easier for me to go forward without living in fear. I would have liked to been able to ask them why did they do that, and get an answer. I would have liked to know if it was someone who knew us or if it was random. So yes.
Okay, so two more questions. Why do you think it would have, why do you think it would be important to understand the why?
Because it could have taken the focus off of the fact that um, they was trying to intentionally cause me harm. If I would have got to know them, maybe I could have known why they did it, and it would have taken the weight off, making it personal for me.
Okay, thank you. Last question. Do you think, and understanding, do you think that there's a difference, or in order to forgive, that you also have to reconcile? And if not, why?
Um, I don't think that you have to. I don't think that you're always going to be given the opportunity to reconcile. Sometimes you have to find a way to maneuver through the forgiveness by yourself within yourself. You may not be given the outlets necessary to reconcile, and then you won't be able to move forward, and you'll be stuck in a victim stage forever.
Okay. And you think forgiveness, having went through the process where you have forgiven the person or the persons who was involved in burglarizing your home, do you think that it have made you become better to move forward with that?
Yes,
Okay. All right. So real briefly, you mind explaining, like,
it made me better because I went through a phase.
say that it kind of broke up. Your answer broke up. Can you say that again, please?
Sure, I'm sorry. I said yes. I think it made me a better person because it made me. Are they waiting to do me harm? Or are they waiting to intentionally set me up to make me a victim again? So
Right.
I made me able to be move forward.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for participating in this questionnaire for me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day. Goodbye.